What is up, guys, and welcome back. And today we have another diecast review, and this is not of one but six 1/64 scale greenlight Daytona prototypes. Obviously, if you follow sports car racing, and more specifically the old Rolex sports car series, or what is now known as the WeatherTech United Sports Car Championship, you'd be very familiar with these cars. This is actually, all these cars are on the same chassis, essentially, or the same cast. And these are the second generation of Riley DP bodywork. However, that is inaccurate for at least 3 of these cars. Actually, 4 of these cars are inaccurate on that, but that's because I'm very picky on the details. I believe it would be the Riley MKXX bodywork over the MKXI. But anyways, we're going to start with the first car, and this is probably one of the cooler teams from back in the day, Gainesco Racing. It's kind of sad that they don't race prototypes anymore after Mamo Gidley had his crash at Daytona in 2014. This is the number 99 Gainesco Auto Insurance Pontiac Riley. So as you see on the front, 1866 Gainesco Auto Insurance, the Pontiac logo, and the number 99. Very cool that the louvers are blacked out on this car. The Pontiac logo, which obviously Pontiac ceased to exist, and the Pontiac across the sun strip. And your headlights, which the headlights are all the same, and it looks pretty good. It kind of represents the Pontiac, or not the Pontiac, the Riley bodywork quite well, excuse me. Up top, we got the American flag, which is always great to see. And then we got Sunoco, Grand Am. Let me try to read the sponsors. Bosch, BBS, and Exentrac. And then you got Pirelli, Gainesco, Bob Stallings Racing, and Expel. Pontiac, and it says on the rear wheel arch, "Are you driven?" And then 1866 Gainesco. And on all these cars, the engine cover does come off, which is awesome for a 1/64th scale, well, anything. And there you can see the engine detail in the back. It was kind of common at the Rolex 24 to see these without engine covers on in the garage. But yeah, they called this car the Red Dragon, and it was a very cool car. Next up, we're going to be looking at 2 cars. The 2 Chip Ganassi cars. The 01 Telmex, this is the 2008 winner, and then the 02 2009. This car here finished 5th in the overall in 2009. I always preferred the 02 car over the 01, even though the 01 car housed my favorite driver in the Grand Am series, which was Scott Pruitt. Anyways, on the 01 car, you got Telmex up front, which was the full season sponsor. And then 01, and then you got your Lexus grill. One nice thing is there's actually the 2 little brake duct holes in your radiator vent. It's a deeper blue than what it actually should be, but that's okay. And then you got the Telmex logo up top, and then Lexus on the sunshade. Pirelli, I believe that's a little Haviland logo there. I believe it is. 01 Sunoco, I can tell because of the arrow. Grand Am, Bosch, Toyota Racing Development, or TRD, right underneath the target. Exentrac, Fastenal, Rolex 24 logo. That's all the ones I can read. And then you got the Target and Expel, and the Lexus logo. Of course, Scott Pruitt racing for Lexus once again in the factory GTD effort. You got your fuel intake, and then Target logos on the back, and then Target on the rear wing. On the back, I forgot to show this off on the Red Dragon. Yeah, your typical Riley back end. And as much as people like to hate on the old Daytona prototypes because they looked god-awful in their opinion, I think these cars actually look pretty good. Honestly, I love the look of these, mainly because these were the cars I got into the Rolex 24 rather late, and I remember my first Rolex 24 was in 2006, seeing Dan Weldon, Scott Dixon, Casey Mears, and there was one other. when the Rolex 24 and the 02, when it was the all red and white car as opposed to these. And one thing I do wish that they would have made was the 07 version, where it's like solid cutoffs on the colors, like right here on the 01 would be red, and then it'd be white, and then on the tail section red, but whatever. And then on the 02 car, it's pretty much the same, minus the Target logo is bigger on the rear piece of bodywork. Now, obviously, this is an 08, this is an 09, and no dip that the colors are reversed on it. However, the white swoosh on the paint there is actually bigger on the 01 than it is on the 02. I remember that this car here actually went through quite a bit. I know it had the nose ripped off of it by, I believe it was Alex Lloyd. If not, it may have been Dario. I don't know. But once again, Target, you got 3 targets on the front nose, Lexus, Target up top, 02, Telmex, Rolex 24, pretty much all the same. No, it has SunTrust on this car. Good old SunTrust. Reminds me of the Wayne Taylor guys. Telmex, Pirelli. Yeah, I always like the scheme better than the 01 for whatever reason, but unfortunately these schemes are dead, and so is Daytona Prototype. Next up is 2 more team cars, the 58 and 59. Now, they actually produced 2 number 58s, and they also produced, actually, another 01, the hardest to find, and the one that's been in the thorn my side, the 01, which is the full season just Telmex 01. This 59 is the full season 2008, and then this is the Rolex 24 winner from 09, where this car beat the 01 car by like 4 seconds or something. But they did produce the full season 58 from 2008 as well. So anyways, let's just go over the 58 real fast. On the front, the 58 Brumos Porsche, I'm just gonna go over the sponsors. Grand Am's up here, and then Pirelli and Hella, which was the headlights. You got your red, white, and blue marks on it, which was awesome from Brumos. American flag up top, Brumos Porsche, Grand Am, SunTrust, Sunoco, BBS, trying to read them, PRS over here, Bosch. Yeah, it's hard to read. The graphics are so small, but they're so finely detailed. Rolex 24, you got a shoe here. This is a Porsche Riley. And yeah, Pilati. And then Kendall GT1 on the rear wing. And on the back, you can see some nice fine detailing. Your brake lights, vents, all that sort of stuff. On this car, that was one cool thing, though, that this car had the red highlights and this car had the green highlights. It actually has an extra highlight here, but no American flag on the top. It's got a black splitter opposed to the white splitter of the 09. Oh yeah, and the rear quarter panel is white on this one, black on the other. And I don't know, the 2009 edition just looks cooler, but I would love to have the 2008 of the 58. I used to, but I don't anymore. And then actually, I believe that the, yes, quite. The engine is actually different on this, on the 58 than it is on the rest of them. So there's the 59. That's the standard engine, minus it's not painted at all. And this car here, completely different. So, kind of cool, I guess. And I'm probably saving the best for last. The Michael Shank Racing Ford Riley Daytona Prototype. Now this car here is extremely hard to find, but I'm so glad that I do have it. Up front, you got 60 now. If this was a 2008 spec, it would have Westfield insurance up here on the front, but it doesn't. Of course, it could have been for a licensing issue or whatever. You never know, but 60, and then I think that this livery was one of the best of the time, where it was black on one side and orange on one side, and then it kind of switched on the back, as you can see. Grand Am logo right there. Actually, that Grand Am logo just proves that it is the 2008 car. So, because Grand Am changed their logo between 08 and 09. Pirelli Expel, Hella. I thought that said Ho-Ho for a second. Sunoco Grand Am, Ford Racing. This was driven by Oswaldo Negri and Mark Patterson, so obviously not the Rolex 24 car. Pirelli, Bosch, Eccentric, once again, yeah. BSR products on the rear wing, once again. Engine cover can come off. On the back, it's just orange, and then this side, it's black in front, orange in back, vice versa on the other side. Michael Shank Racing, MSR, and then those little stars actually do have a little 60 on them. So yeah, it would have been cool to see the number 6 car, but they never did produce that, which is kind of sad. Now, speaking from, well, knowing this stuff, all but those two, the 4 that are in front were raced on the older Riley bodywork, the XI. And these 2 are actually correct on the correct bodywork, which is the XX. Actually, no. This is the only one that's correct. The 02 car didn't switch to the XX until 2010 when it was with the BMW. This car switched in 09, so it would be correct if this car was an 09 edition, which it's not. This car is an 08, and it ran the older, and the Brumos guys always ran the older. And then this car here, ironically, would go on to win the 2010 24 Hours of Daytona as well, even though it was with Action Express. So, yes, these 2 would become the Action Express duo. So yeah, this is the only car that's actually on the correct bodywork, but whatever. That's pretty much the review of them. They're very nice. If you can still find them, you know, they're worth quite a bit, especially the rare ones like the 01 Telmex and then the 60. Those 2 are the most rare, and I'd say they'd be worth a good 20-25 bucks, but the rest are relatively easy to find, especially these 2. I mean, Gearhead still has these 2. And I know Gearheads has this one in plentiful stock. But anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and peace out.